Disclosure Day is a big turkey. This is an old man telling a story too late.
I liken this to North by Northwest meets The Day the Earth Stood Still. This is very neo-noir, and then Spielberg shits the bed. Hello, friends and listeners. You have a brand new episode of Watch Skip Plus. We want to be your go-to source for insightful and pop-cultured movie reviews. My name is Jose, also known as Cupcake, and I'm joined by my maybe tired co-host, Mike, also known as the Wildebeest. Mike, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I went to a concert last night with the wife and hung out with my daughter a little bit, but it was fun. I've been prioritizing sleep. So I've been going to sleep between 9:30 and 10:30 every night. But last night, well, it was like midnight.
Got it. Speaking of snoozing, because I think that there's some reactions to the film that we are reviewing this week. What are we reviewing? Yet another polarizing film this year, I think.
Well, you got to put the man's name first. Spielberg's Disclosure Day.
Yeah. So I know we have this really rude comment, which is, if you don't know who XXX is, you should probably stop listening to our podcast.
That's you. I have never said that.
It's true. It's true. I've said it. Sorry. This is a Cupcake thing. And so, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. If you don't know who Steven Spielberg is, you might want to stop watching our podcast. But Steven Spielberg, legendary filmmaker, got started in the 70s, ran in the same circles as Martin Scorsese, Brian De Palma, Paul Schrader, George Lucas. Again, if you don't know those names either, maybe being a cinephile is not your thing, or at least you need to expand your taste a little bit. So
maybe this is a 13-year-old watching this that just watched Jurassic Park for the first time and is going to go see Disclosure Day, and you're shitting on their parade right now.
I'm trying not to shit on the parade. I'm sorry. We embrace everybody here, but out of all the American filmmakers, though, I think that Steven Spielberg is synonymous with movie making.
He is.
And first of all, his first couple films were 1971's Duel, about a man and an unidentified truck driver who tries to ram him off the road. It was Mad Max for the U.S., folks. And then in 1974, The Sugarland Express, starring a then unknown Goldie Hawn, fresh off of Laugh-In, where she's doing like her dancing. But you know, more than any other direct, as Mike would say, banger after banger after banger. So starting in 1975 with the very troubled production, there are documentaries out here, Jaws, which is a absolute classic. 2 years later, he follows that up with Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And then he would sojourn into action comedy, which kind of became a thing for him in later films as well. So that's 1979's 1941. But then in 1981, we get Raiders of the Lost Ark, starting the Indiana Jones trilogy. Again, he ran in circles with George Lucas. Indiana Jones is George Lucas's baby in some ways. 82, E.T., the Extraterrestrial. Come on, folks. And then he would do his dramatic Oscar sort of like run. We've got The Color Purple, Empire of the Sun. And then, of course, you mentioned Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, my God, Saving Private Ryan, my God, picking up the mantle of Stanley Kubrick for AI. Like, we could just keep going. Minority Report, War of the Worlds, Munich. Like, what's going on, Spielberg? Why are you such a genius? Why are you approaching 80 and you're amazing? Yeah. What are your feelings on the amazing Steven Spielberg? Do I need to walk off the podcast? Are you going to say he's terrible? I'm just kidding.
No. I mean, gosh, I'm a kid of the 80s. Of course I love Steven Spielberg. I mean, who doesn't? From childhood to now. I even have this weird kind of love for his early 2000s stuff. I was kind of in college, like from AI to Minority Report to Catch Me If You Can, The Terminal, War of the Worlds, and then Munich. That to me is like such a great resurgence at a late age in life at that point. I mean, that was 20 years ago, so he was in his 60s. and he was killing it. I was like a big defender. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, AI, gush." No, I think it still stands up, and I think it's a great little fantasy film. It's not
It
something you
makes
want to
me
show
fucking
children.
cry.
Yeah, don't show
No,
it to your
definitely not.
children. I made that
But
mistake
man,
once.
I cry. Yeah.
Because I think he had to make up for things after Jurassic Park: The Lost World, and I really do think that, of course, we had Amistad and Saving Private Ryan, but then he had to be like, okay, now I'm going back to that fantasy
Lincoln.
world. Yep, we do have Lincoln in there, and I'm glad that we're back to him going back to his alien roots and his love of,
Genre.
aliens and all things sci-fi. So I'm excited. And also conspiracy theory. I think this is very much one of those 1970s conspiracy films, conspiracy thriller films that were really big at the time. And I think he's giving a wink wink to some of those like Manchurian Candidate type of films.
I think he's winking at a lot more, and we'll certainly get into that with our thoughts. But really quickly, so this is a story by Steven Spielberg. It's new IP. This isn't a reboot of something. He does that a lot. But it's written by David Koepp. David Koepp is a frequent flyer here at Watch It Plus. Koepp wrote a lot of films with Steven Spielberg. So Jurassic Park, The Lost World, War of the Worlds, and then, of course, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, spider monkey bullshit, whatever. But Koepp, as everybody knows, I have a huge crush on David Koepp. I think he's very sexy, but he's written and directed Stir of Echoes, Premium Rush, but he's written for other franchise. The Shadow, he did Secret Window. Like, I just love David Koepp. Recently, his novel Cold Storage was turned into a film, which I think bombed, but it's on digital now. Joe Keery was in
fun.
that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Our DP, this is a frequent collaborator, is Polish-born Janusz Kaminski, who I absolutely love. Can you believe that the first film that they collaborated on was Schindler's List? Jesus God. And ever since then, Kaminski has been Spielberg's basic mainstay DP. I absolutely love that guy. Music, John Williams, the iconic John Williams. Spielberg and Williams have worked together since Jaws. Dun, 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 dun. That iconic thing. And again, Williams did the score for Star Wars, at Indiana Jones. So just very legendary Hollywood filmmakers working together and just producing amazing art. Speaking of art, recently Spielberg had directed West Side Story, sort of rebooted that. I know it wasn't as successful as people wanted it to be, but I quite liked it. And then in 2022, what I affectionately called The Fabled Jerks, because I had zero interest in seeing it, it was sort of like a biopic of his own life and how he started in movies, The Fabelmans. And that brings us to Disclosure Day. We will note that his last big genre piece was the adaptation of Ready Player One. And I think there you go. There was some polarizing viewpoints over that film because I think the movie was definitely a little rambling, but it certainly had Spielberg's signature all over it. But it was just kind of key to see all of those pop culture icons and story characters mashing up at the end of it. What did you think about Ready Player One? You just kind of made a stink face. Not your favorite?
I don't like it.
What was your issue with it?
I just think that Spielberg has had a hard time over the last 15 years, really, of connecting with me. So, and that's not
genre-wise, sci-fi-wise, or are you talking everything?
Everything-wise.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he's kind of aged out. I don't know. Something happened after Munich, and I can't figure out. It's God, that was 20 years ago, and there's bits here and there.
We had Bridge of Spies.
Okay. I thought Bridge of Spies is boring. BFG, boring.
The Post.
Boring. That's the problem. His films are boring. They're made for an older audience. And I feel I'm not young. I mean, I think I'm on the cusp of the millennial /X. I think I'm technically a Gen Xer, depending on who you ask. I mean, still in the 70s, barely. But
yeah, I'm Gen X.
You totally are. And I'm on that cusp. So it's like I have the nostalgia for him, but I also realize that I don't think he's made a great film in 2 decades. So
Spielberg staying relevant in the age of tentpole films with CGI. I mean, he practically invented the fucking tentpole film.
yeah, he did.
Can I say that? I feel like I can say that.
Did, yes.
He did, yeah. But how does he stay relevant when we've got Masters of the Universe, we've got Marvel, we've got all of that. So I think there's a lot of anticipation over this film, if it's going to be a return to form, or you know, how is Spielberg going to stay relevant? So before we get into that, let's do the cast really quickly. Emily Blunt, who doesn't love Emily Blunt? The Devil Wears Prada, maybe not Oppenheimer, sorry. But you know, I love Emily Blunt. I love her. I think she's a great actress. What are your feelings on Blunt?
Yeah, she's always solid, and let's just get it out of the way. Get ready. She's going to get at least Golden Globe nominations, if not more. She's fucking phenomenal in this. So we just can rip that Band-Aid right the fuck off.
Oh, you think there's going to be nominations?
This is by far her best performance in anything, and she's well loved in the Academy. If not Academy Awards, at least the Golden Globe nomination, because they can split it up. They can call this a comedy if they want to. So even though it's not at all, but they can if they want to. But yeah,
we will get to that.
She's phenomenal in this, and it's great to see her finally get a role that she can just like
dive into and meaty stuff.
Yes.
Josh O'Connor, the Michael Phelps of Hollywood, with his big ears and big head.
We call him big ears on behind the scenes.
And non-traditional good looks. I'm going to say that. He doesn't have traditional good looks, but I will say if I saw him at a bar, I would kick all the other fucking lacrosse jocks to talk to him. But Josh O'Connor, quite having the career after being in Challengers. He's made a lot of indie fare, but really, really coming up. Do you like Josh Connor? I'm always excited now to see O'Connor.
Yeah, he's great. Of course, coming up in a lot of Sundance films. I'm a big fan. I think he was the best part of the Knives Out movie, the last one, which I really didn't enjoy.
Yeah, that one not so great. But
oh, Glenn Close, I love you, dear, but sometimes you just go all in a little bit too much, like almost Nick Cagey, and she goes.
You need to see her in the Lee Daniels Possession movie when she's all like,
she goes all.
Oh, the things that she says are meme worthy, amazing. Oh my god.
If I just like this, it's like almost like the creepy guy from Family Guy, the old pedo. That's her voice goes into.
So we've also got Colin Firth, Oscar-worthy Colin Firth, Bridget Jones's Diary, The King's Speech, all of that. Was he in The King's Speech? Yes. Colman Domingo, another up-and-coming Oscar sort of darling. He is like everywhere.
You blink your eyes and boom, he's there in your face every time you open your eyes. Oh, there he is again. There he is again. There he is again.
Oh, it's Pride Month. Here's Colman Domingo. He's openly gay. Fantastic. We love him. He's great.
Huge fan.
We got a couple gorgeous Nepo babies. Sorry, what were we calling them? We were calling them Hollywood connected royalty.
I don't know. Hollywood royalty.
We've got Eve Hewson, Bono's daughter, folks. We've got Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son. I swear to God, every time Wyatt was delivering lines, I was like, "You're just doing your father, and you look like your father. Like, please stop."
I realized that because he plays young him on that Godzilla show. So
yeah, Legacy, and Kurt's on there as well.
Yeah.
And then just one other shout out. I'll let you shout out any other cast members, and we'll get to our spoiler free thoughts. There is an Asian actress in this, Hetien Park. I am obsessed with her because she played Beverly on the Hannibal television series.
Oh.
And she was amazing. And then her character suffered one of the worst fates I think I have ever seen on a television series. But I love Hetien Park. I think she's absolutely amazing. Anyone else you want to shout out in the cast?
You touched on them all. What a stacked cast, of course. What did you think? Colin Firth pulling off that Orson Welles-ish look with his beard and all. Were you like Daddy-O or Yucky-O?
I mean, the fact that he skips leg day is an oversight, but
Well, when you've
Colin
always
Firth.
been a thin person, it's hard to work those muscles because your body
It is
doesn't
true.
naturally
It is
work them
true.
out.
No, he looked very daddy-rific. It was great. Oh, and Jim Parrick is in this. If you're a fan of True Blood or Ryan Murphy's 911, Jim Parrick is in this. I love him. He played the cop that pulls Emily Blunt over. I absolutely love Jim Parrick. Okay, here we go. Steven Spielberg. Is he still a relevant filmmaker? And what did you think of Disclosure Day? Which, by the way, may be connected to Close Encounters of the Third kind of like a spiritual cousin, but also more importantly, recently there has been a lot of talk about declassifying UFO government files. And so there is this huge conspiracy theory that once we have our own Disclosure Day, the government has known about UFOs and maybe has studied that technology. I don't know. But how do you feel about this? What are your spoiler-free thoughts about Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day?
Well, first off, having grown up loving sci-fi and loving alien movies, I've always been like here seeing directly into the veil, like what's going on. I remember April 2020, we saw that the Pentagon came out and admitted that there was finally officially admitted that these are, what do they call them, UAPs, UFOs. I'm sorry, I'm old school, but UAPs. Yeah. And they admitted to it that these are alien ships. That was huge. And so, who knows if that was the right time to let that out, but still all of us kind of nerds were like, oh, they just freaking admitted it. Finally. We knew. And then if you were affected by that moment in time, Disclosure Day is a big turkey because you've already had that moment occur where, oh my gosh, finally the government has admitted. When we get into the spoiler version of this review, we'll go into more of the details of the twists and the turns. But as this movie is, to me, this is a snooze, man. It starts great. We get this great like wrestling match and these like real life wrestlers, and it's like in your face. It's almost like that Ready Player One, like, okay, here we go. This is him dabbling in some youth culture, trying to get his young pants on. That's why I did not like Ready Player One. It felt like an old person playing with young people's toys. And it just, CGI was bad. The dialogue was bad. The whole world. But this, again, this is an old man telling a story too late that if it would have been made 15, 20 years ago, this would have been awesome. This feels super dated, super long. Every time that Big Ears comes onto the screen, the whole entire movie just comes to a complete halt. Him and his girlfriend, they have no chemistry. He really is just not good in this. And every time he comes on the screen, the whole movie just face plants. When the star comes out and she, her whole role basically is she is a really cute and fun kind of weather lady for a local weather station, and she's dating Wyatt Russell's character. Somehow she's speaking languages that she does not understand and seeing things that she doesn't know how she's seeing. So I came into this thinking, oh, is this like an X-Men type of, this is like, what if X-Men or X-Files is real? And it was all mixed together, which that's kind of all this movie really is. It's what if the X-Men was real type and...
Or X-Files.
Well, both, right? Because X-Files creates these people who have these certain abilities because of what, maybe aliens. So you kind of overhyped this when you came to me and said, oh, looks like Species meets Close Encounters. I don't see that at all. Like, that sounds exciting. I like the horniness of Species. There's no horniness to this. This is old man philosophy. Just the philosophy in this movie is just so dated. I don't know. I wanted to like this, but I was really bored every time that Emily Blunt was not on the screen. When she's on the screen, I'm like magnetized to her, and she just blew my freaking pants off. Like, bravo to her for having the ability to play this character and just do it and just devour it. I'm sick of bad CGI animals.
Oh my God.
I'm so sick of bad CGI animals being major parts of motion pictures.
Bad.
There's just a lot of really bad CGI in this. This looks shittier than the AI slop I see on my kids watch on YouTube every day. This shit doesn't look real. I mean, that's the whole message is, wow, if only the whole world would know the truth of what's really out there, we would all come together and be one in humanity. Well, first off, we're in a different time period. This is him thinking even early 2000s, this still could have worked, but not today. Nobody is looking at the same things all at the same time, and it would not explode in the way that this film makes you think it will. This is not reality. This feels and looks like it was written and made in AI. It's sloppy. There's moments where you're like, oh, wow, there's some great shadows. There's some great, everything that you want from like technically wise. Yeah. Gosh, it's there. It looks beautiful. It looks wonderful. I have a problem with the John Williams score. I kind of winked at you about that. I feel like this is almost sounds like somebody doing a John Williams wannabe score, and it just feels so ham-fisted and does not fit the film. This film needs some modern oomph. It needs some percussion. It needed some bumpa, bumpa, bumpa. It didn't have that. It just seemed, and then when we get the emotional beats, it feels really campy, almost like the music pulls you back to something that would have been emotional from always in the 90s, but that it does not connect here. To me, this was a miss. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure you did like this more than I did. But for me, this continues to show that Mr. Spielberg really has kind of been missing to me since Munich. I know some people will defend Lincoln, or they might defend The Post, or they might defend this or that. It might be time for us to say, okay, just produce. Keep producing great films like the Oscar nomination or nominee that you produced last year that won. Keep doing that. Produce new filmmakers. Get behind new directors. Keep doing that. But maybe it's time for you to champion the youth and step back. It just didn't all click to me. God damn, did I feel that 2 hour and 20 minute runtime. Whoa.
So let me ask you this. What did you think of the last 30 minutes of this film when it all goes down? How did you react to that? Corny, without spoiling it?
Corny. It just got corny and campy and cheesy the longer it went. None of it looks original. None of this feels original. Feels super way dated already. Really campy schlock for the guy who made Minority Report and made that really work. That snaps, that pops, that feels like it's a real lived-in world. This does not feel like any type of reality. I don't know what type of reality he thinks that he's painting for us in Disclosure Day. It doesn't feel like an Earth I've ever lived on. It feels like a fantasy film, and it doesn't feel like this could really happen at all.
Interesting. Okay. I don't think it's Spielberg's age. I think he is still a very, very good filmmaker, but color me surprised because I think a lot of people are expecting something with the special effects on the level of, say, an Independence Day or Ready Player One with this. But I found the low fineness of all of this very refreshing. And so when I say the low fineness of this, yes, there are some special effects. There is an action sequence involving a train, which I thought was patently ridiculous. But when I say the low fineness of this, Spielberg is using 50s and 60s and 70s filmic techniques to telegraph the action that's happening here, right? And I liken this to North by Northwest meets The Day the Earth Stood Still. This is very neo-noir. It's almost like a color black and white film. So if you think about, it's a lot of talking. It's a lot of characters explaining motivations to each other. It's a lot of, hey, what's going on? So it feels very old school espionage versus a special effects extravaganza. And
Can
I kind
ask you
of
a
like
question
that.
before you move forward? Do you feel like Josh O'Connor was miscast, or do you feel like he's hitting this out of the park?
No, I think he's actually working really well within the scheme of this strange neo-noir lo-fi alien story.
Okay.
I'm going to use the word. I'm going to use it. Hitchcockian. This is very, very Hitchcock. We've got the angles. There is even a nod to Psycho with the kitchen knife, okay? But he's using these old style techniques to tell this modern story, and it worked for me. It really did. Now, there is some very bizarre, unmotivated lighting. So, for example, they're in this rancher style motel and they're supposed to be clandestine and talking in the dark. And there's all these lights that are moving from left to right, all constantly left to right. And it's like, there are not that many fucking cars driving by the window. Okay. Why is this lighting happening? But again, I think it's a nod to the black and white conspiracy thrillers. Now, you are correct. The CGI animals are absolutely atrocious. I was expecting the fox to come in and start talking. Hello, the aliens are coming. Like, it's that bad.
I thought it was going to stand up on its 2 feet too. When we saw the fox, I was like, "What the Spielberg? Why did you let this in? Why did you allow
what the
this?
fuck?"
Can't
You know,
believe
but that doesn't work. And then here's the problem. All of this starts out really well. I'm into the old school filmmaking techniques. I'm in with it being neo-noir and just people talking. I love it. And then Spielberg shits the bed. The ending of this thing, folks. I mean, I'm so sorry. It's supposed to have this impact. It's supposed to be provocative. What would happen to the world if we knew about aliens? Like, would we stop hurting each other? Would humanity come together? And at the end, when they finally do, what they want to do, I started laughing. It was unintentionally laughable and bad.
Yeah.
And then you say this thing happens at the end of the film, and I was like, what the fuck am I watching? I'm like, the fuck is and then the movie just ends. So I mean, it's still a soft watch for me because there is technique there and it is Spielberg, and I think he's still relevant as a filmmaker. But man, David Koepp, what were you thinking? I would like to smack the fuck out of you because that ending, oh my God. And then when the reporter has that emotional reaction, I was like, really, madam, that's your reaction? Fuck you. So yeah, it's a huge bed shitting, but I still think it's kind of worth a watch. Now, you've talked about Emily Blunt's performance. She's awful in this.
Get the fuck out. No way. Compared to Josh O'Connor, dude. Oh my
Listen.
I cannot
Emily
believe
Blunt's
this.
character in this, it felt like Elle from Legally Blonde, who suddenly gets a Matrix download and knows all of this shit. I wasn't buying it. She was irritating. And just not stop talking, and then just and I feel like that, and then it was.
Oh my gosh! It was not that at all. Get the hell out of here!
That's exactly what the fuck it was.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm like, she almost ruined it for me.
That was the opposite. See, I thought Connor ruined it for me. Like, you
No, I thought he was actually really good. I agree that him and Hewson, it feels like a sex doll that suddenly came to life. I feel bad for her. She just could not work this material. She was terrible. But I did like Josh O'Connor. I did not. Yeah.
That's so funny. I'm the complete opposite of you. That's crazy.
Questionable things happen here, and Colin Firth is in a completely different fucking movie. He is whatever script they sent him, he took it he went Brando with it. Like I can't even critique his performance because it just feels other movie. Like, I'm sorry. It was But I don't know. It's a soft watch for me. I actually kind of dug it.
Domingo. What about his performance?
I liked him. I thought he brought the gravitas, but Colman does what Colman does all the time. If you watched Fear the Walking Dead, this is just his character. This is how Colman acts in every single film.
I fear they're turning him into Morgan Freeman. He comes in and becomes
listen, if it gets in more movies, fine. The wise black man who schools everybody. Yes, I completely get it. I'm waiting for the what's in the box sequence with him in a future film. But he was fine. He was fine in this. Yeah, I've never seen Spielberg shit the bed, and that was the most surprising thing about this film. Yeah. So
it sucks.
Yeah,
well, for me, it starts with the bang, and then Josh O'Connor comes and he's like, "Hi guys, I'm hiding some stuff. It's really secretive." And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here! I don't want you. I want Tom Cruise. I want Tom Cruise. I don't want your big."
I thought he was good, but let me just also say one last thing about this entire plot and this entire movie. None of it makes any sense.
No.
When we get the reveal about the two characters and how they're connected, when they finally do get together with everybody else and they're supposed to do this thing, for what? Okay, there's the reveal, but who fucking cares? Has the mission the whole time been that? Like, none of this story makes sense. Yeah. It's a big, wonderful looking nothing burger that shits its bed.
It looks great, and I think for the most part, it's so funny you didn't like Emily Blunt. It's well acted.
No, she did not work for me.
Even though I don't love Josh O'Connor, it's still well acted. It's still it has all the pieces are there, but they just didn't come together for me. I felt like I was missing. Well, maybe they weren't. I felt like I was missing a couple of little like Lego pieces in the middle there or something. It just didn't quite. I don't know. It didn't quite snap and pop.
I think there's some stuff that's left that I kind of enjoyed, but yeah, this felt like him trying to be J.J. Abrams in a way.
If you want to go see an easy, predictable Spielberg.
I still think there is very good filmmaking here visually.
There is.
And
if this was anyone else.
And how they're telling it.
If this was anyone else, I'd be like, this is a decent film. I'm happy for them. But this is not anyone else.
Would you, though?
I expect more from the master. I know this is me. I shouldn't look at that way, but I expect more from a Spielberg film about aliens and conspiracy theories than what we got here.
And you would say a Kane Parsons film.
Well, I feel this is the very same way about the Ready Player One, which was my least favorite movie of his for a long time. This is probably going to get piled down there with it because it just doesn't work.
I agree with Ready Player One. The plot didn't work, and there were sections where it's kind of like, okay, we're all here for the other references.
And the CGI looks awful.
This universe was not. Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but Chucky and Freddy and
they look worse than they do like on video games, like on.
It's true.
Oh, it looks bad.
It's true, but okay, so you're a skip. Mm-hmm. And I'm a soft watch.
You're a soft watch. I'm a pretty solid skip. I just don't think this is.
I think Spielberg can still be relevant with the right script. I'd be curious to know how other people felt about those last 30 minutes because it absolutely did not work for me.
Well, I haven't seen anything that I have really been able to champion in 20 years, and this continues that trend for me. So unfortunately, me and Spielberg are going this way instead of this way. I'm not very much chasing.
Like I said, it's refreshingly lo-fi. And I think it has a $150 million budget, which is significantly lower than other Spielberg efforts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I would love to have a conversation with Steven Spielberg about this film because I'm hoping that the young audiences embrace this sort of old school 60s and 70s technique that he's bringing to this modern story. I don't know if it'll be successful. I think we're looking at a huge drop next weekend, but whatever. It is what it is. So if you love us, you will also love our Podfathers, The Gentleman's Guide to Midnight Cinema, as well as Not a Bomb and the OG's The Night of the Living podcast. Also our YouTube Brothers in Arms, the Two Johns, and now for something a little bit different, you guested on their show and did American Movie. Has that come out yet?
Not yet. It's coming out soon. John Nance over there is editing them and doing a good job with it. They've come a long way. Those guys really do have a cool show over there, so it's fun to.
We're gonna have them on eventually, both of them, as well as the Wild Dream stream, the Wild Dream podcast boys, Daniel and David. We love them, and then of course, Death by DVD, and then our fan club, the Raiders of the Podcast, who we love. We need to get them back on as well. Caliber 9 from Outer Space, Backlook Cinema podcast with Zoe, Feminine Critique, Talk Without Rhythm with Goro. Spielberg is still relevant, folks. At least I think. How about your parting thoughts?
Yeah, get out there to live music. I got to go to a live concert last night, and it was awesome to feel the energy of people all together for one purpose, just to feel the
Yeah.
vibes. Get out there and enjoy live music, film, TV, whatever it is you want to on the big screen. People were watching the freaking game on big screens all over, and I thought that was exciting. I made a choice to go to the concert with my wife, but exciting for what happened with the Knicks.
I mean, but listen, looking at the last couple box office weekends, I mean, we haven't had a weekend like this before where there's been 4 or 5 choices that people could go to the movies and see. So I'm actually really kind of excited about that. So, but as always, folks, be kind, be open, be vulnerable, and that's where the art is. And we will see you on the spoilered review for Disclosure Day. You really should check it out. I think we have a lot to say. Mike's gonna vilify Spielberg. And,
No.
I know, I'm kidding. I'm joking. At any rate, yes, please join us for that. Share, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Bye.